Hinduism had been injected full force into the body politic since 2014. And indeed, in the lead up to 2014 for many years, the entire question of defining Hindutva, defining the Hindu beliefs, cause, culture, history, and so on, had been so dear to the ruling party that once they came to power and they kept propagating their point of view in the name of Hinduism, I began to ask myself, they don't speak for me, and yet I'm also a Hindu. So what is my Hinduism and how does it differ from theirs? And that's why I thought I should write. You know, if you read my 1997 book, India from Midnight to the Millennium, I have more or less said this in 3 pages. But the moral urgency of defending and defining my idea of Hinduism at greater length and with greater substance than 3 pages would permit is what prompted me to write Why I'm a Hindu. And of course, I'm very touched that it's, after my colonialism book, my second most successful book of all time. Even today, people are buying it, reading it, and coming to me, including people who don't agree with me politically, and telling me how much it means to them. Now, that was the logic of the project was, can we let the prevalent interpretation of Hinduism remain unchallenged? Should people not see there is another way of seeing Hinduism, Hindu faith, Hindu doctrine, Hindu culture?
Is it partly because of the so-called secular politics to some extent? They made the religion some kind of a bad word, because somehow we are not comfortable with it. Because for a Western, we don't call it Christendom. We don't know, because the religion is a part of politics without a need to emphasize it. But here, the secular politics, you somehow made religion some kind of an anomaly. Sometimes it's a bad word, like the nation. So it was, to some extent, for a payback time.
You'll be surprised, Pras, I agree with you. In fact, again, in India from Midnight to the Millennium, and that sentence is not in this book, I wrote a sentence which was controversial at that time in some circles, where I said, in India we are in a situation where the Muslim says, I am proud to be Muslim, the Christian says, I am proud to be Christian, and the Hindu says, I'm proud to be secular. Now, why is that the case? And I discussed it in the book. But I discussed in the book, it's partially because indeed the Hindu is such an overwhelming majority that the onus of accepting and embracing people of other faiths is inevitably upon the Hindu. Because the Hindu is at that point 82%, now 80%, whatever it may be, 81. Now the fact is that is an important distinction. And the second thing is, of course, that my understanding of Hinduism I grew up with, and from my own parents and from my own teachers, and certainly from Swami Vivekananda, is that we should rejoice in the Muslim being proud of being a Muslim, and the Christian being proud of being a Christian, and also be proud of who we are. The important thing is, it is not the job of a good Hindu to tell a Muslim how to be. It's not a job of a good Muslim to tell a Hindu how to be. Ultimately, everyone should be themselves. As long as they don't hurt the other, what's the problem?